Hey guys, and welcome back to another versus matchup video. Today we have Minecraft Steve versus Mario. We're going to be giving Minecraft Steve access to all of his potions, armor, and the rest of it. Mario to have all access to his power-ups. If you enjoy this video, dislike and subscribe. We're coming close to overtaking Gregor Explains. I'm getting excited. Massive shout out to Pix, he's the one editing this video again. His link will be in the description below. And yeah, let's just jump right into the video. So we're talking about strength. We're going to be looking at lifting strength and striking strength separately, because they are technically two different things. You know, how much you can lift is different to how hard you can punch. For lifting strength, Steve, he has a lot of inventory slots and can carry 64 stacks at a time of a certain item most times. And the heaviest block that there is in Minecraft that's equivalent to real life is a solid block of gold, which is 1 cubic meter of just solid gold, which already weighs around 19,000 kilograms. Now, if we were to use not the glitch, the game mechanic, which you control middle click on an item that duplicates its properties to the exact, you can put chests filled with chests, 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 and so on, until you have about 155 stacks of chests with nothing but gold blocks inside them. Inside of 27 stacks of chests, inside 27 stacks of chests, inside 27 stacks of chests, inside 27 stacks of chests, and essentially this is how much Steve can lift. Approximately 1.9 times 10 to the power of 561 kilograms, which is enough to lift the universe 1 times 10 to the power of 600 times approximately of universes. So Steve can literally lift just about anything, and I think that's putting it lightly. He can lift tons and 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 tons. Mario, on the other hand, does have a pretty impressive lifting feat where he's lifted up a castle, which weighs around 61 million tons. But I think it is safe to say that Steve is slightly stronger with Mario in terms of lifting strength. For striking strength, this is a whole lot different. Thanks to the great video by the Theorizer, who determined how hard Steve can punch, he can output approximately 54 million newtons per punch, which is obviously really impressive by human standards. And if we were to highball a little bit here and say that a sharpness 5 netherite axe with strength 2 was around 19 times that, since it goes from 1 attack power to 19 attack, then he would have to be outputting around 1 trillion newtons of force, which is around building level, funnily enough, which I know, like, 1 trillion newtons, it sounds a lot. However, compared to an average human it is, but comparing it to other structures, it's not really. Mario, on the other hand, as when he picked up the castle, kicked it, which already puts it around 3 megatons. That is around, city level, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. And Mario has also got an even better attack potency feat. He has been able to hurt Bowser, and with the Mega Mushroom, he's been able to one-shot him. And what's so special about Bowser, you might ask? Bowser has survived falling into a black hole which destroyed a galaxy. So yeah, I would probably have to give the attack potency point to Mario, but the lifting strength point to Steve. They very well much outclass each other in those two different areas. But yeah, lifting strength goes to Steve, and striking strength goes to Mario. For speed feats, Steve is really slow. He is slower than the average human. He can run 500 blocks, which is approximately 500 meters, in 1 minute and 29 seconds. And with speed 2, that only takes his running speed up to 7.5 miles per hour, which is really slow. And while Steve can go faster, it is entirely too situational to how he can. For example, like blue ice boats and horses and that. However, I'll include 2 faster ways he can travel that seem plausible to the battle and yet are still situational. The Elytra with spamming rockets makes him go around 74 miles per hour, and when it's raiding with a trident, around 111 miles per hour. So again, he is really quite slow. Mario, on the other hand, right, we're gonna lowball him to the absolute maximum. We're gonna gonna downplay him so much, right? We're not even gonna use his best speed feat, and the feat that we use, we're gonna downplay it, right? So we're not going to use the light speed reactions from Mario Galaxy. We're going to be using the reactions of when he was turned into a lightning bolt and he was still able to remover, Vancouver. He was still able to move around and react as a lightning bolt. And presuming that it's not a bolt of electricity, which can travel the speed of light, and is an actual bolt of lightning, then he would be moving around 270,000 miles per hour, which is still over 20 times that of Steve's top speed feat. So Mario absolutely outclasses Steve in this regard. Now for durability feats, we're going to give Steve the absolute maximum that he can have. You know, a Notch Apple with resistance, with blast protection 4, with netherite armor. I ran some tests myself, right? And I figured out that it was able to do half a heart of damage with 210 blocks of TNT. Which means that he should be able to withstand 11.4 kilotons of TNT, which is around a town level in terms of how much that can actually destroy. Mario, on the other hand, has been able to survive a castle exploding, which takes around 2 megatons of TNT, which, if you don't know, is a lot more than kilotons. And is also able to survive an explosion that destroyed an entire stadium in Mario Tennis, which should also be able to output around that level of megatons as well. So I would have to give the point to Mario. As to, you know, how long their power-ups and armor lasts, obviously Steve has that, since if Mario gets hit with the power-up it goes away, but and you know, Steve's durability with his armor is a lot higher, and with the shield he should be able to block most things. However, his shield can be dodged, like it can be worked around, and it has a limit to how much the shield can take. So durability point goes to Mario here too. For abilities, techniques and weaponry, this is quite a diverse fight. Steve obviously has access to tons of potions, which include the likes of leaping, swiftness, strength, invisibility, night vision, or being able to breathe underwater. Can poison people, can inflict harming, can regenerate. He also has slow falling as well. Golden apples as well, which can give him between 2 to 5 hearts and different potion effects depending on if he eats a regular golden apple or a Notch Apple. He has the Totem of Undying, which it does exactly what it says on the tin. You know, it keeps him from dying when he's holding it. However, it does break when, you know, he uses it. He has Ender Pearls, which allows him to teleport to wherever he's able to throw the Ender Pearl to. He has netherite sword, axe, and has a pickaxe and shovel, which can all set people on fire and knock them back and deal a significant amount of damage. He also has his trident as well, which he can throw and it will return to him as well. His bow and crossbow are almost as powerful as the sharpness 5, strength 2 netherite axe, and more powerful than the sharpness 5 netherite axe. So from a range distance, he's able to fire infinite arrows with fire. So that is quite significant. And with potions as well, he can create fire resistance. He also carries around buckets of lava, water, which shows some level of heat resistance, considering he's able to hold so many buckets of molten lava in his hand and be completely fine. Steve also has a shield, which, as we already said, is almost unbeatable. I mean, to say that something doesn't have any limits just because it hasn't shown any is ignorant, and it commits to a no limits fallacy, which I'll probably end up going over if I ever talk about Saitama, because that's a whole other can of worms, but off topic. But his shield will eventually break though, so that wouldn't be too much of a problem to get around. His armor as well is durable, as we said. He has full netherite armor. With a turtle helmet, he can breathe especially well underwater as well, even without the water breathing potion. Steve also has access to building iron golems and withers. However, the issue with that is the iron golem won't obey Steve. Like, Mario would have to attack the iron golem for the iron golem to do anything. And while the iron golem is quite durable, it is not nearly as durable as the wither. And the wither is a bit of a double-edged sword, because while it's extremely powerful, it will attack both Steve and Mario. So I think Steve will ever use it as a last resort. Steve also has stacks of TNT, which all of them individually have approximately, or the equivalent to 1.8 tons per block. So, you know, he could be able to explode near Mario, but Mario will be able to get out of the way of it, considering it does take a little bit of time to ignite the TNT. Speaking of which, he has Flint Steel, which could set people on fire if he hits them, if he's able to hit it with them. And if we were to use, like, Bed Wars, Steve, you know, he has the fire charge, which, you know, you can throw and it explodes, but I don't think we should probably use that. We're also not going to include Spawn Eggs, considering we want to use Survival Steve, and, you know, he has absolutely no access to that at all. So, yeah, Steve, he is quite versatile. Steve also has the Elytra, which allows him to glide and even fly if he has firework rockets. So, well, if he does run out of firework rockets, he can still glide, so there's that. Steve's also an expert archer, expert potions master as well, and fantastic in hand-to-hand combat. Mario, on the other hand, has a total of 36 power-ups. This includes, you know, the Super Mushroom, the Mini Mushroom, the Mega Mushroom, the Fire Flower, the Ice Flower, the Penguin Suit, the double Cherry, the Cat Suit, or the Bell Suit, depending on what your preference is. He also has several that can fly or glide, that being Tanuki Suit, the Cape Feather, the P-Wing. He has an invincibility star, which makes him completely invulnerable for a few seconds, which, again, I'm not really sure, you know, how much of it contributes to a no limits fallacy, but it does seem to be pretty consistent considering how it does end after a few moments. There's also Metal Mario, there's also Blue Shell Mario, Golden Flower Mario, and then there's the overpowered, like, Golden Tanuki Suits as well. With all of these, you know, he's able to shatter bricks with absolutely no difficulty. As I said, damage and even one-shot Bowser in some cases. And there are obviously a lot more power-ups that I haven't went over, but those are the most important ones, because there are quite a lot of, like, box ones and other ones where you have to kill enemies to get them, like the Goomba Shoe, for example, or the Spiny Helmet. He also has the Lanky Mushroom, which makes him jump even higher. And while it's unknown, or really, he can jump about 2 blocks higher than he can normally, and considering he can jump 50 feet, that would put him around 70 feet per jump with the Lanky Mushroom, and the Mini Mushroom blows that even much more out of the water. A few of the power-ups that come with their own weaknesses, like the Star power-up doesn't last very long, neither does the Mega Mushroom. The Mini Mushroom, while it does make him extremely fast and jump really high, he cannot take a hit whatsoever. One hit and he's dead. And yeah, that's mostly it. For versatility, I would probably have to give it a tie. Mario has more power-ups, but many of them do the same thing. As to who has the more powerful abilities, I think it's Mario. Let's be honest, I do think it's Mario. The Totem of Undying is pretty overpowered, but considering it's only a one-time use, I think Mario has this. So yeah, versatility is a draw, and abilities point goes to Mario. Now for the weakness section, we've mostly gone over most of the weaknesses already. However, I'll recap over them as well and add a few more ones in there as well. Steve's Totem of Undying is only a one-time use unless he has multiple. All of his tools have durability, and, you know, if he uses them enough, they can break. However, he has to use them a lot. Potions are also a one-time thing unless he has multiple, and that's mostly it for Steve. I mean, if he runs around enough, then he can get more and more hungry, and if he gets to a certain point, he can no longer run or regenerate, so he'll have to constantly be eating food. Mario, on the other hand, if he gets hit while in some of his power-ups, he will power down. However, there are certain power-ups with invincibility, and while the vast majority of them have a time limit, some don't, so those are pretty overpowered. For who I think has the worst weakness, it is probably Steve. I mean, for a few things, like specifically, considering many things are just a one-time thing compared to Mario, who can use his power-ups infinitely just so long as he doesn't get hit. So I'd probably have to say Steve. However, when it comes to, like, the armor and the swords, it is probably Mario, considering, you know, one hit and he's already lost it. So point kind of goes to both of them. Now for the victor. This is an extremely one-sided fight. Like, Steve is maybe just as versatile, just as equal within weakness, and his stronger lifting strength. Everything else goes to Mario. Like, it is unbelievable how much of a stomp this is, considering, like, I thought this would have been a closer fight. Like, for one, Mario is just way faster than Steve. Like, as we already said, like, Steve won't be able to so much land a hit on him, you know, let alone do much damage. Considering Steve's biggest amount of output he can give out, and Mario's durability, he'd be able to take Steve's hits for days. And the only way Steve can survive any of Mario's attacks is if he has a Totem of Undying on hand, or with a shield, because one of Mario's kicks, like the same one that kicked the castle, could one-shot Steve even with net full netherite protection, resistance, all the rest of it. It is stupid how much of a gap there is here. He could survive Mario's fireballs with fire resistance, but you know that won't really matter here. Considering everything else, Mario has so many ways to take Steve down. Now, can Steve win in any way whatsoever? There is a possibility. I'll say there is a possibility. If he can somehow hit Mario with a slowness potion and a poison potion, he could very well kill Mario. Like, it's unclear how much slower he would be, and if Mario or if Steve would be able to hit Mario. However, even then with slowness, I'm pretty sure Mario would just be too fast. So the only one way I see Steve winning is probably not even likely to happen. So yeah, in this fight, Mario beats Steve. This fight probably would have been more interesting as an equalized stats video where the durability, speed, and strength are all the same, and it's all down to the abilities and the weaknesses of the two fighters. But I'll probably save that for another time. If you enjoyed this video, dislike and subscribe. You know, we're 5 subscribers away from overtaking Gregor Explains. We are almost there, guys. Subscribe to Pix, you know, shout out to him for editing this again. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.